This is it. This is the last preview episode for the Michigan Wolverines 2023 football season. Michigan is coming off their 27-20 overtime win against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, while Washington is entering this game after their 37-31 win over Texas. Now, I'm going to throw out a little bit of a warning to not get caught up in the narrative that this is a guarantee win for Michigan. It seems like a lot of people are jumping on board that Michigan's guaranteed to win this game. Michigan's going to blow out this game. I understand the confidence and the excitement, but also at the same time, I remember the confidence and excitement before the TCU game. Now, of course, it doesn't matter what fans and alumni think is going to happen because it comes down to the players and they're focused and locked in. But honestly, some of this talk that I'm seeing reminds me of the Alabama fans before the Rose Bowl game, and we saw how that turned out for them. I've been trying to keep in mind both perspectives for this game because it has been forever since Michigan has had the chance for a national championship. It was back to the 90s. The same can be said for Washington, though. Their last championship was in the 90s as well. So both teams are coming in hungry for this win. So I think it's a little tough to say that one wants it more than the other. They're both going to be coming in and putting it all on the line. One simple thing to put out there that I believe is a clear advantage for Michigan is the coaching situation. I think Jim Harbaugh is the better head coach, and also a lot of the position coaches you've just seen. And I think the Rose Bowl is a prime example of just how well they can coach a game. Now, they didn't have a month to prepare for this one like they did last week's game, but they know how to get focused and locked in. So I'll be very interested to see their game plan for this game and how they execute. I'm not going to be the first person to say this, but I believe that Michigan's main test is going to be defensively against the high powered offense of Washington. Now, there are two main components of that. First is the secondary. The secondary is going to have to lock down on the Washington Huskies wide receivers because they have been explosive. They have had huge chunk plays throughout the season because they're able to create separation. So the Michigan secondary is going to have a big job for them in this game. The other portion of that is then for the defensive front and the pass rush to be able to take care of Penix when he's trying to throw the ball. Now, I believe that this is going to be more complicated than Milrow was because Penix, to me, and from what I've seen, is more elusive in the pocket and he can keep plays alive and create things when plays fall apart. It will be very important for the defensive front not to get behind Penix because if Penix has an open lane, he will run and he will gash the defense. So I'm sure that there will be certain times that Michigan will choose to put a spy on Penix, but I think that they'll do a good enough job to handle things for this upcoming game. I think the Michigan offense will actually do fine in this game. Washington isn't really known to be a defensive team. And so I think the Michigan Wolverines will be able to do well on offense and essentially hold up their end of the bargain by putting together multiple touchdown drives throughout the game. The Rose Bowl game was really gritty and tough, and it wasn't very many points. Not saying that I think that this is going to be a huge scoring game, but I do think that Michigan has more of a chance for some explosive plays on offense and will be able to do quite well with the personnel that they have between the running game with Corum and the passing game with JJ. Michigan had 3 passing touchdowns against Alabama, who is the 24th passing defense in the country. Washington comes in ranked at 123. So just because I'm saying that I have confidence in the Michigan offense does not mean that I doubt the Michigan defense. I just feel like the test is much more on the defense than it will be on the offense. You know, I would love to see in this game. I would love to see JJ McCarthy shine in this game. That's not to say that he hasn't done a fantastic job in the past, but I feel like the narrative has been kind of against him a lot, especially in this later part of the season, because the team hasn't leaned on him in the passing game because some of the defenses that they've faced off against, but then also he was battling injury at different points. So I would love for him to be able to actually outshine Penix in this game. I'm not necessarily saying have more outstanding plays than Penix, but just that he is clearly the better quarterback in this situation because I believe that he is. And I believe that would be outstanding for him to be able to have that dialogue from this game. Nothing against Penix. Penix is fantastic too, but I think JJ has kind of had a lot of shade thrown at him for a bunch of different reasons for this season. And so it would be great for him to have an outstanding performance on this platform. So again, the two biggest objectives for Michigan are on defense, with the secondary and the defensive front. If Michigan can lock down one of those two elements, this should be a win for them. If Michigan is able to dominate both of those, then this could be a very long game for Washington. I have confidence in this defense. This defense is going to be different than what Washington has seen before, but also this is going to be a different offense for the Michigan defense to face off against. So it really still can go either way. Nothing's guaranteed. So in getting prepared for my score prediction, I was looking at Washington's most recent games, the last 5 games to be exact. They face off against teams like Utah, Washington State, Oregon, and of course, Texas. Washington was averaging 30.4 points per game. That's a very good trend for Michigan to see because I'm still sticking with the concept that the Michigan defense really needs to focus on holding their opponents under 30 points. And so, with what Washington has been able to produce offensively, that tends to bode well for the Wolverines. My final score prediction for this game is Michigan 37, Washington 27. So let's go Wolverines. This is it. This is the finale. This is what they have been working on since 2021. And so this is the national championship. Go out there and finish what you started. Go Blue.